Yeah, Zeb, how's the transition going from being back into the bullpen guy to being a starter? How's that gone this preseason?
Pretty good. I feel like there's not much of a difference to me personally. It's the same mindset. I just feel like I'm closing more. I'll go out and I'll throw an inning, picture that I'm closing, go out the next inning, picture that I'm closing, and just keep going until they tell me to stop.
Bob, Curtis, and
Sorry, I think you said Bob. Hey, Zeb, how glad are you guys to be? And I know I'd rather be outside, but considering how bad the weather is, what's it like? Is it that much different pitching inside, or what's that like? Just how glad are you guys to be able to have that facility?
Oh yeah, no, it's awesome. I wouldn't say it's much different. The only thing is, you know, we go off kind of technology when some guys put the ball in the air because we don't have outfielders, so it's kind of not super game like. But I mean, it's the best you can get. Especially there's a lot of people in these kind of conditions that aren't getting to practice like we are. So it's just great having that facility we can go into anytime there's bad weather, or if, we'll use it if we go and play somebody who has a turf field, we'll practice on there. So it just gives us a lot of variety.
And just how anxious are you guys to start the season, considering it obviously ended, very prematurely last year?
Oh, everybody's super excited. Not only just to be playing baseball, but to be playing someone other than the Razorbacks, since we've been inter-squatting for so long. But, we're very thankful to be able to start playing again.
Thanks.
Curtis.
Hey Zeb, you guys had 4 players in your lineup that were named first team All SEC preseason. I mean, as a pitcher that throws to those guys every day, I mean, how much does that help prepare you and get you to improve, having to see that type of talent every day?
I mean, it's great. Facing the best makes you the best. So going out every day and being able to compete with 4 guys that are preseason All SEC, I mean, you can't ask for better competition, especially here. And just being able to go after it, especially with a lot of guys who aren't on that list, who I think are still really good. It's just great. It's going to make our team better.
And do you reach a point, after fall and through the preseason where you're kind of tired of facing your teammates every day? I mean, how you already mentioned how anxious you are to get back out there, but then especially against the competition you're going to be facing next weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Gets kind of old, especially face the same team or same lineup multiple times. They start getting at you a little bit. But just being able to go out and play is just good for us since it's been so long. But yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking, I guess, especially because you've been playing the same guys over and over, and now you get to go out and compete and show your real stuff against other people. It's good.
Clay.
Zeb, we didn't really get to see him last year. It was shut down just about the time you were, coming off that hamstring injury. How are you different as a pitcher, and maybe pitches that you've added or fine-tuned from, say, what we saw 2 years ago from you?
Yeah, I'd say I definitely have a more off-speed mix now. I used to be a heavy fastball kind of guy, especially last year when I was throwing a lot of breaking balls. Now I just mix in more breaking balls and change-ups. I feel a lot more confident with those pitches, especially throwing those for strikes. Just being able to have a larger mix, especially in a starter role compared to closing.
Tom.
Yeah, the circumstances have created deep pitching rosters really across the country. And I'm wondering how tough the competition is to get in that starting rotation for your team.
Well, it's definitely tough. We got a lot of really good pitchers, a lot of guys competing for the starting spot. It's all going to come down to, who stays consistent, and consistency is going to be the key throughout the season too. I mean, I'm sure things will change. People will be placed in different spots, given opportunities, but overall consistency is what's going to matter and separate people.
Clay kind of just asked you about this, but the mentality of a starting pitcher, you cannot come out fastball maybe as much as you do as a closer. Do you feel like you're in tune to be able to do that?
Yes, definitely, especially getting more opportunity use my other pitches, develop my breaking balls and changeups a lot more. It's definitely helped me get off just the fastball grind. But hey, if I'm facing a team and they're not very good at hitting fastballs, I'm gonna throw fastballs.
Matt, if you got anything. Zeb?
Yeah, hey, Zeb, what have you seen from Peyton Pallett? How does he look different from last year?
He's grown up a little bit. He's definitely gotten a lot more confident with his stuff. I mean, he's throwing great right now. He's definitely gonna be a huge key in our pitching staff. But he's last year as a young guy, pretty much just getting out there and getting comfortable and confident with your stuff. And he's definitely made that improvement, being more grown up and mature this year.
Andrew?
Yeah, Zeb, what are your impressions of Jackson Wiggins being a freshman and his stuff? What have you thought about him?
I mean, he's one of a kind, to be honest. He's a super athletic guy. He's got some great stuff. Whether or not he comes out and does his thing is up to him. It's probably just going to be mental, whether or not he can be confident with his stuff, just like I was saying about Peyton. And that happens with a lot of freshmen, is just coming in and they have the skills and the talent to come in and contribute to our team, but it's just whether or not they get the confidence and mentality that you need in the SEC to pitch.
We'll go back to Matt.
Hey, you're a Kansas City guy. What are your thoughts on Benintendi going to the Royals? And why has Arkansas had so much success recruiting up there? Is it proximity? Is it something else?
I mean, yeah, it's great for the Royals getting Benintendi. But yeah, I mean, Coach Van Horn being from Kansas City probably has a little sway in that. And yeah, definitely proximity. It's definitely a great location as far as distance. My parents aren't on my back all the time, but don't have to travel so far to go home. But yeah, there's just a lot of facilities up there, a lot of good travel teams that have started to develop a lot of really good players, which I think also contributes to that. I know, like where I work out back home, there's a lot of really talented pro players and high school and college players. So it's just like a really good community and a lot of kids working hard to get better up there.
And I'd assume you knew some of these guys who came before you to the U of A.
Oh yeah, certainly. Like I played against Isaiah Campbell in high school, and well, I knew the names of other guys. Back in high school, I wasn't as into Arkansas baseball as I was when I committed or anything, but I definitely knew the names.